Okay, after your natural selection activity, you have a data table sort of like this, all filled out. So we had two different types of animals, right? We had the prey and prey population in generation 1, 2, 3, 4, predator population generation 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's really hard from this table to see what actually happened over time, right? The numbers are a little different here at the generation 4 from generation 1. But to really see what our data is telling us, we want to make a graph. Now, luckily, making a graph in Excel is really easy. You just have to know how to do it. So the first thing you have to do is make a little table for the data that you want to graph, and we're going to make two graphs. We're going to make one graph for the prey and one graph for the predators. So I've started you out setting up a little table over here. So we got to put our starting numbers. We're going to graph our starting numbers for each generation, okay? So I'm going to come over here and select the starting numbers for predators. Right click and copy, okay? Right click again and paste values. See with the 1, 2, 3 there? Okay, come over, select starting numbers for predators for generation 2, and I'm going to copy that. Come over here and right click, paste values. So now if you don't paste values, it's not going to work because I have equations. So just paste values, generation 3, paste values. Generation 4, we didn't do all of generation 4, but we did get the starting numbers. So we can put that in our graph. Okay, so now you have a data table that you've made for just predators here, right? So you want to select the whole table, right? I'm selecting the generation names and the names of the types of predators. Right click again, and you're gonna, whoops, copy that. Okay? Now, to give myself some room to make a graph, I'm gonna get a new spreadsheet, and I'm gonna call this, oops, predators, right? Just so I know what it is. Okay, and go up here, right click, paste. Okay, now it's already selected, which is what you need, but just in case it's not selected, all you have to do is select the whole thing with the generation names and the names of the predators, and this is so cool. Just do insert, go over here to, kind of looks like a laundry rack to me, but anyway, insert line chart on the arrow, click the very first one, boom. There it is. You don't need to like mess with graph paper or drawing axes or anything. You can make it bigger, which is kind of nice for professors like me who don't have such good eyes. All right, now these are kind of mystery numbers over here. You notice that? It doesn't say what they are. So we need to label our axes. So go over here to the plus sign, axis titles. You got to check that. And just in case something disappears, which I've had it do, you can go over here and make sure that they're checked. Okay, so now I'm gonna just select the whole graph, and I want to go up to home here because I want my text black. Yours might already start out black, but for whatever reason mine didn't start out black. I want it bold also, make it easy to see. Again, some professors like me are, I'm not practically blind, but my eyes aren't so good. Okay, so now axis title, what are these numbers actually showing us? These are numbers of predators, right? So if you look at the red line at spoons, it shows the spoons, the numbers of spoons with bigger here and smaller here. Okay, so what it's showing us here is number of predators of each type, right? Because it's showing us spoons, forks, and knives. So each type. And again, I want this easier to see. I'm going to select the whole box. So you have the whole box selected and not the text. And then you can go up here, and I'm going to make it bigger for people like me who want to be able to see it. Maybe drag it up. I think we can drag it up here. Get it centered. Just make it look nice. You can do whatever you want that makes your graph look nice. Okay, so what are we showing here? I didn't mean to move that. Come on. I'm trying to select the writing inside. So here we're basically showing time, right? And our time is measured in generations. Cycles of birth and death. Remember dying and being reborn? It was so much fun. Okay, again, I'm gonna make it bigger, and I want to get rid of this so you can see more. Get rid of this. Okay, all right, so I give the chart a title. Let's not call it chart title, right? So what is this graph showing? That's what you need to figure out. And to me, what I see when I look at this graph, number of predators of each type changing over time. So I think this is basically showing change in predator population. Oh, I think that's kind of what it's showing. You don't have to call it the same thing I do. Come up with what you think is a good name for it. And again, I want to make it just a bit bigger because I like big text. Okay, but do what you want. Make it look nice. Okay, and you can click on here. And when you've selected that, you can make these bigger. 9 point is really small. Let's make them 12. You can make these bigger. Let's make those. I think we could probably make it 12. Yeah. Okay. All right. And the last thing is, I just don't like these lines. I think they make it look kind of messy and they're pointless. So I'm just going to hit delete. Select them and hit delete. Okay, cool. And there's our predator population graph. Now we're going to go back to the original data sheet. We're going to do the same thing for the beans. Now I didn't give you the bean names on an axis, so I'm copying those and I'm going to right click, paste values again. Okay, we're doing just the same thing. So this was our generation 1 bean numbers, okay? And these actual numbers, starting numbers of beans, are going to go in your methods section. Starting numbers of predators are going to go in your methods section, but there are going to be no numbers in your results section, okay? To do your results section, just look at your graphs, because all we want to know is what the trends were, okay, for the results. It is unreadable if you give a whole bunch of numbers, and it really doesn't help somebody understand what was going on if you just give them a whole bunch of numbers in your results. Okay, don't. Okay, so there we go. And paste numbers, and again, we did the 4th generation. We just figured out what we would start with, so we can put that in our graph. So I've made a graph here. So starting number of prey in generation 1, generation 2, generation 3, generation 4. Just like before, I'm going to select the whole little table here, and I'm going to copy it. Okay, click on the plus, make a new spreadsheet. We're going to double click here to change the name and just make it say prey, so you know what is here. Okay, and then right click up here, paste. Okay, it is selected just like we want it. So just like before, we're going to go up to insert. Okay, going to go to line chart. Very first one, boom, there it is. So easy. Okay, just like before, we don't want our numbers to be a mystery. To tell our reader what they are, so we're going to give it axis titles. And just like before, I don't want it gray because it's less easy to see. I'm going to go up to home, change it to black, change it to bold, make it nice and visible. And this one, let's see, it's always hard to select the text in here like that. Okay, so number, in this case, number of prey, right? Of each type. Okay, I'm gonna click on the line, select the box, and then I can go up here, make it bigger for old people with bad eyes. Okay, and drag it, I think. Come on, there. About there. Okay. So again, time down here. I'm going to leave this up to you. You know what to do. Okay, give it a title. What are we seeing? We're seeing change in prey population over time. Okay. But what I do want to show you, so yeah, don't leave it saying chart title. You give it a title. What I do want to show you is look down here in our green beans. It's a purple line. You don't want your green beans to have a purple line, right? Okay, so I'm selecting the whole line. If it's selected like this, see how it's only selected at one end? That's not going to work. So unselect it. Select it so that the whole line is selected. And now you're not going to use these guys. Okay, so you're going to go up here to Format, Shape Outline. And since they're the green beans, I want to make them green. Okay, and notice it changes the line color. It also changes the legend color too, so that you know that green beans are green. Okay, so but now my black beans are also green. I don't like that. Okay, so select again the whole line. Again, go up to Format. Come on, Format, Shape Outline. Okay, and I'm going to choose black. So now my black beans are black. My red beans are red. Okay, that's pretty good. It's hard to select. You know what, I want my red beans to be more red. So here's a good red. Okay, but if you leave your red beans other red, whatever. I'm not going to grade you on the shade of red. Okay, so my white beans, I can't make them white, right? Because they blend in. So blue is fine. Nothing else is blue. Oops. I want to get rid of these lines. Select the lines, delete. Okay, so this is our graph. Make it a little bigger. So when you're writing your results, look at your graph and actually refer to your graph. So literally write in your results section. As you can see from my graph of change in prey over time, the green prey, in this case, this was my students a year ago. Yours is probably going to say something different. So describe your results. But they would say something like, as you can see from my graph of change of prey over time, the green prey increased in numbers. The black prey increased just a little bit, and the white and red prey declined just a bit over time, right? So you're going to say something different. Your trends are different. But you look at your graph when you're doing your results section. Okay, the last thing I want to show you, see how my whole graph is selected just around the outside? You don't want it like this. Now it's selected inside. You want, if it's selected just around the outside, right click on it, copy the whole graph, and now I'm going to my Word document. Okay, and I'm going to right click in my Word document and I can do copy. I'm just going to choose the first one. And look, now my graph is right in my Word document. I can type around it. I can even change how big it is and change the font.